Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel. Tonight we are in the Zinn Aviation Shock Ultra. And we're going to take a tour of the Cuyahoga County Airport along with in and around Highland Heights. And then we're going to head up through Willoughby and take a look at some of the sites of Lake County. I'm not super familiar with Lake County aside from obviously Mentor, Lost Nations Airport, and Perry Nuclear Power Plant, Fairport Harbor, those areas. So we'll kind of cruise around a bit, but we'll take a look and see what we can see. I'm going to try to see if I can find Squires Castle. But Highland Heights is still within the actual drawing distance of the game. So we'll go ahead and get the engine started here. And I'm going to Control E it for ease of use, and I got to figure out how to turn the parking brake off. I think it's, there we go. Brakes on, brakes off. Yep. Okay. Put down the flaps one notch, and I'm going to taxi to take off without talking to Tower because I want to tour. So in real life, we'd have to contact Tower and let them know what we're doing, but in the game, we're just going to. I will say one thing that's a little bit wrong about this airport is that we have a lot of small general aviation. Cuyahoga County is actually, hang on, I've got to wait till the game catches up. It's the home of MBNA, and so we have a lot of, what's that guy's name? Like the richest man in Ohio. I can't think of his name now, but it's basically private jets for that company along with some other companies. So mostly you see jets going in and out of here, and I know because I used to work. Now there are some private aircraft that come in, but in general it's jets. The Cleveland Cavs would fly out of here sometimes. Wow, fuel tanker right in my face. But it's not Lieberman. I'm trying to think of the guy's name. Oh gosh. Anyway, he's the owner of MBNA, and they're a big credit card company in Cleveland, and they go worldwide. But anyway, they most of it's corporate. I know he had like 8 or 9 corporate jets for the company here, and so you see jets coming in and out all day. I used to work right next door. In fact, I'll show you where the 2 buildings that I've worked at. One is, what was the name of that company? Oh gosh, Associated Estates was the original company, and then they split. GH Capital was the other company, but I can't remember what the name of their local company was. It started with it's like PH or something like that. But GH Capital was the other company, and they basically own apartment complexes all over Ohio. I worked for them as a computer tech for 10 years, and then also did a lot of photography for both companies for their portfolios. So it was good business, and unfortunately they went to like this really stupid pay system. All apartment complexes are like that now, where you have to have like this vendor agreement, and it's not their fault. It's government regulations that have caused it, but it makes it a nightmare to do any work with them. It's like I'm doing a $400 job, and having to pay $600 in insurance to do it, and I just kind of burned out and quit doing it. So anyway, I'm going to get airborne here, and I will be back. PK management. I knew that my brain would catch up. It wasn't PH, it was PK. And I'll kind of show you some of these properties because a lot of them are in this area. So, all right, we've been cleared for takeoff on runway 24, or 24. And I'm going to take off from kind of mid-runway because this airplane only needs about 10 feet of this runway. Got our flaps down. Once again, I like the Shock Ultra for touring because it has such a low stall speed, about 40 miles per hour, or 40 knots, I think, which is... Actually, I think it's 40 kilometers. Stall speed is 30 kilometers, which is going to be about 15 miles an hour. And that's because it's got leading edge slats along with flaps. It's a very complex flap system designed for really slow flying. Why is my caution on? Probably should stay on the runway. Whoa. We're already flying. Okay, anyway, we're up. So this is the Cuyahoga County Airport. We're flying towards Richmond Road. I'll give you a little quick tour of where I used to work. Is it Jacobs that owns MBNA? Gosh, I can't remember. So right out here in front of us is Richmond Road. And we're going to fly left real quick and then come back right. I don't know what school this is. I think this is a private school. But we have Richmond Mall up here on the left. Used to eat lunch here all the time. They had a Sakyo of Japan in the food court, and it was wonderful. Wait, let's see. There should be Cleveland. There's Cleveland up to the right. And I think Mayfield? No, that would be, let's see, that'd be Highland Road right there that we just saw. We'll be coming back around to that. Over to the left here is Richmond Mall. And the food courts, we'll fly over the food court in the back. This is Wilson Mills coming up here at this intersection. And so those of you who are from Richmond Heights and Highland Heights, you should recognize this. I know I had a couple, or a request for Willoughby and Highland Heights. So here we go. There's J.C. Penney. I'm not sure what that other one is. And here's the food court in the back. This is one of those places where I got the bug to fly RC airplanes. I had a friend that worked at this company named Jeff Banco, and he's a huge RC airplane enthusiast, and he got me really interested. So the food court is right, the entrance I think is right here for the food court. And I spent many a lunch there. So we'll head back to the airport grounds, and I'll show you where I worked. And once again, the company got bought out. It was Associated Estates. It got bought by Fairfield. And then Fairfield I don't know what they're doing, but they kind of folded. I don't want to say they collapsed, but they wanted to buy the apartments and run them for like a year and then sell them at a profit, and the market kind of crashed because the housing market took off. And so they're now stuck with these apartment buildings that they didn't really want. And so they're in big trouble. Before that happened, though, they had a split, and a company called GH Capital purchased all of the I want to say like HUD properties, like the low income housing and stuff like that. And so they asked if they could. They purchased them from them and took any of the staff. They didn't take it. It was like they asked if they could have them, and they took the staff that were involved in HUD. And we're totally breaking all these FAA regulations right now with no radio flying over the airport directly. But over here on the left, you're going to see. This is the building that PK Management is still located in. I think they're on the 3rd floor. And I've done a lot of computer work for them and also a lot of photography for them. But they're up here on this side of the building. They were originally downstairs on the 1st floor down at the bottom, but they moved. And then you can see the huge parking lot there. I think there's also, there's a lot of Ohio-based HUD there, the housing development, urban development. This is Associated Estates, now Fairfield. That's the headquarters, and they owned about 200 properties around the northeastern United States. Most of those were in Ohio, but they even went out as far as Colorado, Kentucky, Virginia, and New York. So I went all over the place for this company doing computer repair. And I used to, my office was right in this area. This is where the IT department was. Shipping in the back, and then of course all the executives were up front in the nice building. So that's Associated Estates. And then there's a little piece of my family history here. I had she was my quote unquote cousin June. She was really my grandpa's cousin, so she was my great cousin. And they owned a 21-acre plot of land here on the hill called Greenwood Acres. It was they were like the early family to come to Ohio. And Greenwood Acres is notable because it was the first, I want to say, house in the area to have a dynamo. My great cousin allowed Thomas Edison to build a dynamo in their backyard, and that electric dynamo powered the local school and several of the local houses, and it was an experiment. But I guess the it's family history is hard to understand. But Greenwood Farms came originally from I think Maryland, and then they moved here. And I actually when I had an aunt who was married to an ex-convict, and here's the house right here. That was my cousin June's house. It's now a national landmark, and the house is over 100 years old, and they have it set aside. They are supposedly going to restore it someday, but it's in the works. There was like a dance hall up here. This is a second floor porch, that bluish area, and then the house itself. It was a big house, and it had like servants' quarters and all this stuff. No, not slaves, paid servants. And so anyway, that was where I spent 2 or 3 weeks of my life there when my aunt's ex-con husband got out of jail, and my grandpa was worried that he was going to come after our family, so he had my mom and I stay there for 2 weeks while they figured out what was going to happen with that guy. So now we're going to scoot back over and fly over Highland Heights here, and this has been a request. So we are sort of at the north end of Highland Heights, and I don't know what this facility is. I'm assuming it's since it's all one story, it's probably assisted living. And my wife is sticking her feet up in the air. I don't know why. Silly. Okay, there we go. These are Gates Mills Towers apartments. This is one of the properties I told you about that our company owned. I believe PK does not own those anymore. I think they were sold in a separate transaction. But there's two large buildings, and so that's Gates Mills Towers. I'm not sure what that is, or these. These were not the company's. But there's a shopping plaza here, and there's a Friendly's restaurant that serves ice cream and hamburgers. It's very good. It's a semi-chain. Over here we have the Airport Green Golf Course on the northeastern end of the runway. And right below us here is Bishop Road. And if I look to the left, once again, that goes up to the shopping plaza. I used to drive down the street all the time. There's a church there. I remember it's one of the big landmarks by White Road. Right there. There's the church. I think it's a Methodist church, if I remember right. But we're going to follow Bishop here to the south. So we're kind of flying right over the heart of Highland Heights. I'm going to show you where Micro Center is, and then we're going to continue on north and head towards Mentor and Lake County, basically. And I need to get my nose trimmed down. I keep fighting it. As you can see, my nose keeps going up. There we go. Almost there. That's about right. So right now we are, for those of you that care, we are at ultra graphic settings. I am running now a 2070 Super, which I foolishly bought last week, only to find out that the 3070 is going to be the same price, and it's coming out in 2 weeks. I could return this card to Best Buy. I have a 30-day return. Honestly, I'm pretty happy with the way this is performing. I'm getting about 30 to 60 frames per second while recording, which isn't bad, and it looks great. And like I said, I've been able to go up from high medium to ultra and still get the same performance. So I'm happy there. The performance never was bad. Obviously, in the city, Cleveland and some of the areas around it, it does get a little choppy. I've been also flying all over the world, though. It was weird. I was in London and had no chop. So I think the trees and the shadows from the trees take a lot of horsepower. Here's some neighborhoods in Highland Heights. If you're a Highland Heights resident, hopefully you can see your home. But I'm not, once again, super familiar, other than we're following Bishop South. And up ahead we're going to cross Highland Road here at the southern end of the airport grounds. And then again, we'll be passing Wilson Mills, and we'll turn right there. I'm sorry, left. And we're going to head towards, is Is that so? That's Richmond. That's Richmond Mall up there again. And here's Bishop is right underneath us. And we're going to turn left and head towards Is it University Hospital? I can't remember what the name of the hospital is. But we'll get to see where Micro Center is, one of the coolest stores in northeastern Ohio. A great place to buy computers. And they have pretty much every kind of part that you could possibly want and for every kind of computer. Even some vintage parts, but in general, it's new stuff, you know. Whatever the latest and greatest is. In fact, that's where we got Moni's laptop. And a lot of my parts for my computer. Alright, so there's Richmond Mall, which means we're passing Highland Road. Poor Elfie. And there's another neighborhood down there, so if you're from this area, maybe you live there, I don't know. This is St. Anne's. It's called St. Anne's what? It's not St. Anne's Church. Shrine, I think. Some kind of Catholic facility. I'm not sure exactly what is here. Obviously, there's a very modern-looking church building. I don't think I've ever done a wedding at this one. In fact, I know I've driven past it, but I don't remember seeing that weird building either. But it's obviously there. So we're going to continue on south here, and once again, this is northeastern Ohio, so there's just a lot of trees, and that's not a bad thing. It's just how northeastern Ohio is. Actually, that may have been Wilson Mills Road there, folks. Let's see. Where's St. Anne's? I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. Yeah, I think that was Wilson Mills. And I'm going to stall. So we'll come back this way and kind of follow ourselves out here. So I'm pretty sure it's Wilson Mills. Right? Wrong? Maybe? I don't know. But anyway, we're gonna head this way now. So hopefully you saw what you were looking for if you're from Highland Heights. And once again, I don't know Highland Heights too well, aside from working at the north end of it. But I didn't spend a lot of time there. Up ahead of us, those apartment buildings, those tall ones, I believe are Gates Mills Villa. They're not the greatest, they're pretty rough. I know there was some, I don't want to say mob activity, but there was kind of crazy stuff going on there at one point. Trying to see if I can find what they are on the map while we're flying here. They might have changed the names now. Yeah, that's Gates Mills Place. So I think, Gates Mills Tower. Oh, no, so, okay, those are Gates Mills Towers. Then that must be Gates Mills Villa up at the top there. So these are the towers, and that's the villa. The first one that we saw. There's some kind of school there. Oh, Mayfield. Okay, there's Mayfield High School. Okay. And we should be heading right towards 271 is up in front of us here, and we should see Micro Center coming up. I think we're flying directly at Micro Center. This is insert office building where you work. I think that may be MBNA right there. But that could also be a hospital building. I don't know for sure. Here's 271. We're going to cross that, and yep, there's Micro Center, and they've turned it into a warehouse. I'm not sure how that happened, because it's not, but that for some reason it's a warehouse, and that is going to be, let's see, 322, which is Mayfield Road. Yeah, so there's Mayfield Road. And you can see 271. I come down. I go up and down this all the time because I have clients all over this area. So those are the express lanes in the middle, and then the regular local traffic lanes. It's one of the busiest roads in the Cleveland area, obviously, for them to have 8 lanes of traffic, or 10. I think it's 3 and 3, so it'll be 12 lanes, or 3 and 2. It's 3 and 2, so it's 5 lanes of traffic, or 10 lanes of traffic. So this is Micro Center right here. And I don't know, let's see. This will be Hillcrest Hospital. And the Mayfield Town Center is over here somewhere. I think this is the city. No, it's shopping. Don't know for sure. Best Buy's right there. Been to that one before to buy stuff after work and before work. Or during work at lunch. And to our left here is the Drake. I've photographed this property. So if you go to the Drake's website, the photos are mine. And this is like Sam Ash's over here. I think there's a guitar center here too. There's a restaurant back here. I forget, it's like the Italian one, Boca de Beppa or Bupa de Beppi or whatever. It's back in here somewhere. We had dinners there before. But there's all the shopping here along Mayfield Road. And we're going to go ahead and swing back north again as we fly over the Drake. This parking lot is not raised like this. I don't know why they put a building here, but this is a parking lot. It's not. Anyway, there is the leasing center right there. That's pretty cool. But they actually have that detail in there. There's somebody parked out front. And the pool area, we should be right over the top of. I'll swing down a little bit. I thought the pool area was back here, but maybe it's just missing. Yeah, I don't see it. The pool should be back. Oh, well, I don't think they have it. Oh, no, there it is. If you look on their website, you'll see that. I photographed this pool. They just had it redone and had a big deck put on it. I don't know what this building across is. We're going to pass this here because there's this cool, like, I don't know if it's a Catholic school or a Jewish school. And let's see if they got the architecture. No, they did not. Huh. That's disappointing. It's just kind of blocks. Oh, there it is. Okay, no, there's that. It's like this weird, like, Gothic-looking building. I always wondered what this was, but don't know. Yeah, see, it's like a mausoleum. It's really kind of an interesting building. I'm going to end up in the trees here if I'm not careful. That's really low res. It's pretty not detailed. You can see what a cool building though. It's funny, I think one company built all of these apartment buildings, like throughout northeastern Ohio, because they all look the same. They're all like the same materials, and they all are like just kind of like that cruddy, like 1950s look. Let's put brick and then brown metal on them. That'll look real good. Brown and brown. So we're going to head back towards Micro Center here and fly past the back end of Gates Mills Towers here. Hillcrest Hospital is just non-existent, as you saw. We're kind of on that border where the game goes from generic scenery to real scenery, and then back to generic again. I used to work at both of these buildings. These are apartment complex also. They don't really look like that, though. They were just kind of the same kind of towers as we see here, but not as tall. But they were just square buildings. They are rectangular. They didn't have wings like this. But this does look like the Gates Mills Tower complex. I think there's 3 towers total. Yeah. 2 of them are larger than the southern one. And so we're going to go ahead and fly north. I'm going to see somewhere over to the right. Should be Squires Castle. So I'm going to go to work here and see if I can't find that to show you what that looks like. Hopefully they have it in the game. I'm not, because we're in the generic scenery area now. Well, you know, obviously it seems like the borderline was right over here is where you go back into the actual 3D scenery. So I have a feeling it's not going to be in the game. We'll just have a generic building there. But maybe. We'll see. All right, I'll see if I can find it. I'll be back. All right, I think I found it. We'll see. If there's a parking lot, we'll know it's it. One of the things that I found with this game is that in order to to see these landmarks, a lot of times if you're in the generic scenery, the one thing that you can rely on is a parking lot. So if you see a parking lot, it's probably what you thought it was. And it's funny, Squires Castle is an interesting thing. It was a castle that was being built, and I think they ran out of money, if I'm not mistaken, and it just got abandoned. So it's an empty shell of a castle with no interior and no roof. But for a while, it was like a hot spot. Yep, there's the parking lot. It was a hot spot for brides and grooms to go to do weddings. It's a Metro Park owned facility, but you could get a permit to get married there. And then there was always fights because people wanted to do pictures there, and then there were weddings there, and so nobody got along. And it was always like this, like you had to whoever got there first. You know, it was just ridiculous. Anyway, for whatever reason though, this was like a hot spot, and maybe still is, but I haven't done a wedding there in years, or even like a couple wanting to go there. But that's supposed to be Squires Castle right there, and that's definitely not the building. And then there was a bathroom, which is what that person's house is apparently. That's the public restroom, and the parking area you can see right there. So there's Squires Castle. Unfortunately, like places like Stan Hewitt and stuff like that, because it's out of the solid scenery range, it's been completely maligned. All right, so I'm going to head back to the main road area, and I'll catch back up with you once I get there. All right, so we are entering into semi-foreign territory for me here. I see 271 north. I think we might even be past 271 at this. No, that's still 271. I don't know. Yeah, there's Cuyahoga County again. So we're heading towards Willoughby and Willoughby Hills and Willowick and all the willows. And I think we're back into the generated scenery, or the actual scenery. If I'm not mistaken, that's Euclid Beach Villa. I'm not sure. Is that the Watergate? I think that's the Watergate. Here we have 90 coming in. And that's, yeah, there's the shopping plaza. Okay. So 271 is going to shoot out that way towards Pennsylvania. And that means we're over Willoughby. So here below us is Willoughby, Ohio, maybe Willoughby Hills, I think. And, of course, we have the, heading out that way, you have Chardon and all that area. And we're heading up towards Mentor. And Route 6. Yeah, so there's downtown Willoughby. And we get back into the Cleveland area. I'm going to slow the plane down a little bit so we can start sightseeing again. But yeah, there's Willoughby, and there is the 271 interchange. Up ahead of us is some of the places that I work again. I have a client up here that's a pretty large client of mine. Eastlake, I think, is over this way. Not exactly sure. I mean, like, if you guys are from this area, you'll know what this stuff is. Once again, I think Richmond Road is up here. That's probably Richmond. And we're coming into Route 6 here. And then the Lakeshore. So we got Cleveland, East Cleveland, and then Eastlake. And then this is going to be like, let's see. Yeah, like Willoughby, Eastlake will be on our left, Willoughby's on our right. We should be seeing Lost Nations Airport pretty soon. But I'm going to take a little bit of a detour here. Let me look down here and see where I'm at. I like this. You can see the trains are a little bit 3D now. I think that's, I don't know if that's part of the upgrade to the computer to the 2070, but I'm excited to see actual 3D trains. I'm looking for Vine Street because there's one of my clients is on Vine Street. I think it's still to the right. There's the big power station on the east coast, and that you can see, or on the north coast, but on the east side of town. Oh, there's Lost Nations. You can see that tower for miles. When you come up 271 from the south, you can see that for a long time. It's definitely a huge, factory on the horizon. When you're flying, it looks so small, but when you're down on the ground, it's pretty big looking. I think the next street will be Vine Street, so we'll fly that way. And straight ahead of us is Lost Nations Airport. We'll do a loop around it. We'll probably end up landing there when we're done seeing this Lake County. That's our second request for the night. People asking for Willoughby, people asking for Lake County. Once again, if you're from this area, that's awesome. Definitely leave comments. I don't know what some of this stuff is. I honestly have come up here very rarely. I'd like to see if the beaches are here, the Menor Headlands, because those are nice beaches, and we should see some sand along the shoreline. It's one of the only white sand beaches in Ohio, at least in this area of Ohio. People come from all over to go to that beach. These are the Conrail and Norfolk Southern lines. It's now owned by, Norfolk Southern, and I think maybe CSX shares it with them now. But this was all bought when Conrail and Norfolk Southern used to run side by side here all the way to Pennsylvania. And it was kind of silly because you got two train lines, two major train routes right next to each other, and they're competing. And that goes back to the days of the Penn Central and stuff like that. So, all right. They called it the Battle for Lake Erie. Train buffs did. You can see the train tracks split. One goes that way and the other one goes that way. But they ran alongside each other for quite a bit. Okay, so here is Vine Street. And I think there's a Hardee's or something right there. Yep, there's Hardee's. I've never actually eaten there, but my client is off of Ben Hur Road here, so we'll fly around and then we'll head up north. But this building back here belongs, well, at least this half of it, belongs to a company called Weiss North America. They are an American subsidiary of a German company that makes manufacturing tables and precision robot instruments that do construction. Their big claim to fame right now is they build the new iMac, or not iMac, the MacBook, the Mac Pro, whatever the tower is, that circular tower. Their machines and their controls and their design is used to, the rotation tables are used in the production of the new Macintosh computer. And so they are, hopping. They've got all kinds of clients all over the country, including the automotive industry and other things like that. So they're doing really well, and I do all kinds of video and photo production for them, mostly video. All right, so let's go ahead and bust over to Lost Nations. There's really nothing to see with the power station. What you see right now is a giant tree, and I found this with the scenery on the Avon Lake power station. It's pretty much the same. It's real low detail, and there's giant trees growing up the stacks, and what you're seeing right now is as good as it looks. It doesn't get any better when you get closer. It's a really low res structure. Not sure why that is, but that's just how they did it. So going along here, this is where I get kind of lost. We'll fly up all the way to Perry and maybe just past North Madison, and then I'm lost. We get into Conneaut in that area. Is this as far as Ashtabula or Geneva on the Lake? And then Ashtabula is after that. And Ashtabula and Geneva on the Lake are both out of Lake County, so we're not going to go that far. At some point, we will fly to Erie, PA from Burke Lakefront and do this side coast tour. We'll also fly from probably Burke Lakefront up to Sandusky. Once again, there's the facility. that can be seen from miles around. Not sure what that is. There's something down there too. Oh, it's a water plant, water treatment. Do they call that easterly? All right, so we're gonna pick up speed here a little bit because it's mostly. I don't know. I mean, what school is that? Those of you might know what that is. There's definitely a school there. Not sure what road there is, but there's Lake Road up there, or whatever they call it on the side of town. And there is the Lost Nations Airport. So this is Mentor that we're getting near here. And once again, I'm not super familiar with this area, so we're gonna bust it out here though. These are pieces of Mentor. I don't know what. I've been here before. Lost Nations every year, except for this year, have an annual air show, and it's a very small air show. It's not like the Blue Angels and stuff show up, but they do have some really cool airplanes. Usually have a couple acts that come in nationally, and then a lot of local guys that come in and fly their airplanes, and it's really cool. Last time I was there, they had a DC-3 and a Texan and a demonstration from a guy that flies what was the giant my brain, is it A-10 Sky Raider? It's the Sky Raider, but I can't remember what the numbers are. A something Sky Raider. It was like one of the last fighter planes that went into Vietnam service. The scabs would fly them, looking for downed jet pilots. Can't remember what it was. It's a Sky Raider though, but once again, I can't remember what the call sign is. It's A something. But that's Lost Nations Airport. Flying up here to see if the Mentor Headlands beaches are here. I don't know exactly where they are in conjunction with the city, but there you can see Mentor, all of Mentor proper. And once again, unfortunately, it's all been replaced with generic scenery, so you probably won't. You might find where your house is, but you won't find your actual house because it's all generic. Here as I'm messing around with the map. But we should see Mentor Harbor coming up here and Mentor on the lake. I don't see the Headlands Park though. It might be this where the Mentor Harbor is. I will say in the summer it's really crowded there. Like I've been there a couple times and it's not super fun because it's like really, really busy. I don't like crowded beaches. It's not my thing. Some people do dig them, but there's Mentor Harbor though. That's pretty cool. The boats are kind of halfway in and out of the water, like all the ports. You see boats, but they're like strangely situated. Don't know what that is, some kind of construction. I think the big disappointment for me, and I just don't see the beaches. I don't know where they would have been, aside from maybe there where the harbor is, but I don't remember there being a harbor where the beaches were. Ah, that might be them up there by Fairport Harbor. So if you're familiar with Mentor Headlands, let me know. I'm once again, I've only been up there once or twice as a teenager, so I've actually, it's funny because I've been up here for weddings and stuff. I only have vague ideas of where I'm at, so it's like kind of seeing, it's like, oh, it's neat to see it from the air and kind of piece it together in my head, but I don't necessarily know where these things are located. I'm assuming that the Headlands Beach is along here. Like this, maybe? That looks like a beach. I don't know. That looks like a big beach there. That's probably it, honestly. Because it's Mentor on the lake. Let's see if I can... Nope, it was south of us. It was back. That was it by the harbor. When I said that might have been it by the harbor, that was that was the Mentor Beach Park. So this is actually coming up here. Is the oh no, this is it. Yeah, that's okay. What we're looking at here is what I consider the Mentor headlands, but they're not really in Mentor. They're in Fairport Harbor. Interesting. Didn't know that. But this is check my flaps real quick. This is Fairport Harbor, and that is the right what we're looking at straight ahead of us with that sand is the Headland Dunes State Nature Preserve. It seems way overstated for a 3-inch long beach, but when you're in northeastern Ohio, a brown sand beach is a miracle. Usually they're just rocks and pebbles, and you have to wear, boat shoes because you'll hurt your feet really bad by walking along them. So this is Fairport Harbor, and we have the Headland State Park right there. So there's the beach. Ohio's claim to fame, one and only beach. And I just overstressed my aircraft. Dang. I'll be back. All right, so we're back in again. And I am over Fairport Harbor once again. I'm not sure what here. This is the Fairport Nursery Road, so maybe there's like a tree farm where all that green is there on the other side of Fairport Harbor. Yeah, I just wasn't paying attention. I got too fast there and we overstressed the aircraft. So below us here is the harbor entrance. Over to the right, that's probably, let's see, Richmond Street, it looks like. And we're following the river here. To our right is Kilroy Point condominiums. Don't know, Huntington neighborhood. And obviously Route 2 is the big route here. So over here is the, whatever that nursery is. There's some kind of nursery or something. And up ahead of us is Painsville, Ohio. I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is Hardy Point. And I'm going by some map navigation here too because I'm not super familiar with this area. Somewhere along here is like the Lakeshore. It's like a nature reserve, but they have a lodge, like a really nice, like a getaway lodge. But I'm not seeing it. Ohio is so green, though. That's one of the things I love about Ohio. It really does. It's a very green state. The air is clean for the most part. So I think over to the left now. Let's see. This is going to be, I think this is Painsville on our left. I think, like, yeah, this would be like Hardy Point. Or this. Some kind of square building there. And this is going to be most likely the Wind Point Reserve over to the right here. That's going to be my... And it is actually an industrial park, so I don't know if they're... Yeah, this is all part of Painsville. I don't know if they're building this here or if it's something that's like going to be... Like, it looks like there's plots and then there's nothing there. Actually, this is the industrial area here, so I don't know what this is. It's not labeled on the map, but it really is there. Yep, so this is all Painsville to our left. How's our speed doing? Okay, we're doing okay. A little bit faster. But don't know exactly what this is. It doesn't. It's not a golf course. It just looks like farmland, I guess. Though there's some kind of facility, like maybe a quarry or something here. On the satellite image, there's trucks. Oh, I wonder if they're using that for a dump. Looks like there's garbage like in this area here, so maybe this is like a dump. Landfill, maybe? I bet you that's what that is a landfill. Kind of creepy. Yep, and there's a triangle lake, and then there should be a long lake there. Yep, there's like a... It would be fun to try to land the icon on that. All right, so coming up here is Lake Erie Bluffs. I don't know what that is. And Sunnymead. And we should be seeing the Perry Nuclear Power Plant right now, easily. Okay, that must be Lake Erie Bluffs right there. Yep, there's Perry Nuclear. Where is the top? Where are the cooling towers? Dun, dun, dun. Another one bites the dust. What the heck, man? What a bummer. So this is the Perry Community Center. Looks like there's some golfing going on there, and this is called Break by the Lake. What else we got here? I know there's some wineries and stuff up here, but once again, I'm not super familiar. Like, for those of you that are going for the ride and have been in this area, you probably know what all this stuff is. I think that's still Route 6 down here. Here's where Perry Nuclear Power Plant is, and as you can see, it's not there. That's weird. I'm looking on the map right now. Sorry, I'm trying to see what I can see. Okay, so on the other side of this is our national park. So we'll see if our little reserve that I told you about is there, like the hotel and resort. Yeah, okay, so there's the cooling towers. That's not what they look like. What a huge disappointment that is. So the parking lot for all the workers is there, but the facility is gone. That's just silly looking. So we are now in Perry, and we're heading towards the Lakeshore Reserve. Let's see. We have Hemlock Beach up here on the left. And I'll tell you what, this is the sticks. When you're out here, it is pretty country out here. It's beautiful, but there's not a lot there. Like, it is pretty much just like this. There's farm fields. The drive up to you drive for maybe 15 minutes, 10 minutes through forested area to get to this nature preserve that we're going to fly over. So Hemlock Beach is to our left. And we have the Lakeshore Reservation Metro Parks. Though this is not where that... Well, hang on. I don't see it. I don't know where it is. Gotta watch the speed. This is the Lake Erie Park. I don't know where that is. There, like I said, somewhere along here is a kind of like a getaway, but maybe that's Madison or something. Oh, nope. Okay, it's past Lake County. It's in Geneva. It's called the Lodge at Geneva on the lake. I'll tell you what, we'll fly out there, and that'll be our end point for the video. We'll take a look at that, and then I'll fly on back to Mentor and land. So it's pretty. This is a real beautiful area out here. Like I said, it's pretty flat, but there's a lot of like beachy stuff. It's not. It's a different feeling than you have around Marblehead and the islands, though. It's less populated. It's definitely more like out in the sticks. It's kind of funny because Port Clinton and over by Cedar Point and all that area, it's very built up. It's still country all around it, but when you get to the Lakeshore, it's all about the Lakeshore, and there's all kinds of stores and shops that are Lakeshore built. Here, it's very private. Like you don't have obviously there's neighborhoods and stuff, but they're private neighborhoods. There's no commercial stuff up here. Here and there's a winery, but maybe we could find a grass strip and land. Maybe we'll land at the visitor center. Yeah, I've done at this lodge that we're flying to. I can't believe how far out it is. I didn't realize how far I'd flown. When I've shot photos at this lodge before, but it is way out here, and it's about an hour and a half from where I live. So no wonder it seemed like such a long drive, because it really was. It's a long way out. All right, so we should be coming up here. All this stuff. Let's see. What is all this? These are all estates. Atwater, Madison Beach. This little area to the left. I don't know what that is. I don't see any of this on the map. I'm lost. We should see a harbor here, the Geneva Marina, and that should be kind of our like a lake landmark that we'll see that'll tell us where we're at. But I don't see it yet, so I'm going to head up here towards the lake, and I think maybe, let's see. No, not there. I'm thinking maybe up here. There's a golf course or something, huh? No? Yeah? Okay, I just found this here. So we are getting really close. It's going to be up here in this area of the lodge. Let's see if we can see it. And I'm imagining this is all part of Geneva. And then Geneva on the lake is on the other side. I'm not really seeing a city name. North Madison, I guess, is what they're calling this. So I don't think I've ever even heard of. I've heard of Madison. I've never heard of North Madison. So interesting. But it must be the northern part of Madison. Flaps up. So that is Lake County, Ohio. And now that we're in Geneva, we're past the border. It's going to be back there somewhere. But as you can see, it's just a really beautiful area. A lot of farms, a lot of vineyards. Is this? No, it's going to be on the other side. The marina, okay. See these out here? That's the break wall for the marina, so when boats come in, they go slow through there, then they speed up. But it keeps the harbor water calm. So there is that, which means that the lodge should be just on the other side. There's a little river, looks like. Yep, there's the marina. Okay. And that's it? That's not a lodge? What the? That's the lodge? That's supposed to be a lodge, folks. It's like an industrial building. Ugh, that's ugly. But that's it. So yeah, there's a gazebo here. I've shot weddings like right there. This is a hotel. Yeah, there's the parking lot. It's actually a really nice lodge. It's very picturesque. Obviously right on the lake and out in the middle of nowhere. And they've turned it into, what the heck is that? It's not the lodge. Oh my. Okay, well, and then there's Geneva on the lake to our left. So let's go ahead and find a good field to land in. I think heading back this way probably is going to be our best candidate. I'm going to say this green field right here is where we're going to put it down. Let's go ahead and get our plane into landing attitude. Full flaps, throttle down, climbing, so we're going to get that nose down. About 60 knots. We're pretty high up, so I need to start descending. So we'll be back here someday because we're going to fly along the Lakeshore and go over to Erie, Pennsylvania, Presque Isle and all that for another viewer request. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video as we toured Highland Heights, Willoughby, Mentor, and the rest of Lake County. That was fun. It's cool to see this stuff and kind of see places that I've been before, not super familiar with, but it was still fun to kind of fly out here and as we continue our tour series. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the new improved graphics. I will say the frame rates while I record are still not stellar, but that's to be expected. You know, it's an older processor. My computer's not brand new. The video card's new, but the computer itself is still older. So we're going to land right on that grass strip right there. Hopefully these farmers won't be upset with us. Actually, it'd probably be better to land in front of that grass strip here, but we're going pretty fast. So I think we're going to, I don't know, we could make this. Actually, that to the left would have been better, but we're going to land right here on this. This is nice and flat. Hello, people. We've come to visit. All right. And that's what a bush plane is for. We got these giant knobby tire, not knobby, but like big goofy balloon tires, and all for the purpose of landing on runways that don't exist. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Have a great night. Be sure to subscribe. Thumbs up always help, and I will see you next time as we continue our tours of northeastern Ohio and the rest of the world. Goodbye.